You are slowly, quietly erasing yourself from the loud, demanding center of the world, and you are starting to secretly wonder if you are making a massive mistake. You used to go to every single social gathering. You used to fiercely argue your points in meetings. You used to care deeply about your visibility, your career trajectory, and making absolutely sure everyone knew exactly what you were achieving. But lately, your circle has become incredibly small. Your weekend calendar is entirely blank. You find yourself leaving group chats, skipping the networking events, and simply observing the chaos of the world from a very quiet distance. Society has a very quick, very harsh judgment for this kind of behavior. When you step back, people whisper. They assume you have lost your competitive edge. They think you are depressed, isolated, or tragically failing at the game of life. But what if your quiet withdrawal is not a tragic failure at all? What if walking away from the crowd is actually the absolute peak of your psychological development? Today, we are going to explore the deeply fascinating science behind why the most intelligent minds eventually disappear from society. You are about to discover why your desperate need for silence is not a sign that you are broken. By the end of this video, you will understand why stepping into the shadows is actually the most powerful, authentic choice you could ever make. Let's start by looking at the invisible psychological script you have been forced to read from since the day you were born. The pioneering psychologist Carl Jung spent his entire life studying the human mind, and he noticed a terrifying pattern. Jung realized that the vast majority of human beings live completely dictated lives. They operate strictly according to the invisible patterns handed to them by their family, their cultural circle, and their environment. Society builds a massive, well-lit stage, and it demands that you perform on it every single day. It tells you exactly what success looks like. It demands relentless adaptability, absolute agreeableness, and constant self-promotion. You are highly rewarded for staying safely on the surface of things. But if you possess a deeply independent, highly intelligent mind, you quickly discover a very dark truth about this stage. The world absolutely loves the appearance of intelligence, but it deeply resents the reality of it. Think about how you are actually treated when you bring your true depth into the real world. In professional corporate meetings, genuine nuance is considered a frustrating waste of time. In private, everyday conversations, expressing a shadow of a doubt or a complex thought makes people incredibly uncomfortable. Complex thinking simply does not fit into the rigid, fast-paced machinery of modern companies or the superficial algorithms of social media. So, what happens when you refuse to shrink your mind to fit their comfortable little boxes? You are heavily and instantly devalued. People quickly label your brilliant, analytical mind as too complicated. They roll their eyes and call your ideas too theoretical or not practical enough. Eventually, the people around you just label you as a difficult person. This constant, daily rejection creates a massive amount of internal friction. You are forced to spend all of your precious, cognitive energy translating your profound thoughts into a language that average people can easily digest. You wear a heavy, exhausting mask just to survive the workday. This brings us to the most beautiful, pivotal moment in the psychology of a deep thinker. Truly wise people, the ones who are genuinely awake on the inside, eventually see right through this exhausting game. They look at the constant networking, the empty career climbing, and the desperate social conformity, and they realize it is all completely hollow. They do not withdraw from this game because they are too weak to handle it. They step away because they have completely decoded the matrix, and they find it incredibly boring. When you finally reach this level of psychological maturity, your entire biological drive shifts. You stop craving loud applause, and you start desperately craving absolute silence. You realize that your mental energy is a finite, incredibly valuable resource. You are entirely allowed to stop bleeding that energy into a society that does not even understand you. You can consciously choose to take your power back. This is not an act of surrender. It is an act of profound self-preservation. When you look back through the pages of human history, you see this exact psychological pattern repeated over and over again. The greatest, most revolutionary minds did not live in the loud, chaotic center of the crowd. They almost always operated quietly at the extreme, isolated edges of society. Albert Einstein did not discover the fundamental secrets of the universe while attending loud social mixers. He developed his greatest theories in the quiet, isolated hours at a patent office. Isaac Newton formulated the absolute laws of physics while entirely removed from society during a plague quarantine. Vincent van Gogh poured his entire beautiful soul onto the canvas in deep, misunderstood isolation. Steve Jobs famously took long, solitary walks to fiercely protect his creative space and process his complex visions. These brilliant individuals did not pull away from the world because they were flawed or broken. They pulled back because they desperately needed massive amounts of uninterrupted space. They understood a very simple, very powerful psychological rule. You cannot hear the quiet voice of genuine inspiration over the deafening roar of societal expectations. You need immense distance to create something truly great and entirely authentic. You are completely capable of doing the exact same thing in your own life right now. You are allowed to quietly pack up your things and step off the stage. You do not need to announce your departure. You do not need to justify your absence to the people who are still desperately playing the game. You can simply decline the invitation. You can let the group chat fade into silence. You can calmly and confidently redirect all of your beautiful, heavy mental energy inward. Instead of pursuing empty career titles and hollow visibility, you can invest deeply in your own inner work. You can pour your soul into your personal projects, your secret art, your quiet research, or simply the beautiful act of building a very peaceful, simple life. Society will always try to shame you for making this choice. They will try to tell you that you are wasting your massive potential by hiding away from the world. They want you to stay in the loud arena because your conformity secretly validates their own exhausting choices. When you confidently walk away, it forces them to question the completely scripted lives they are living. Your quiet peace might make their loud chaos feel deeply uncomfortable. But you are no longer responsible for making them feel comfortable. You can completely let go of the heavy burden of carrying their expectations. You have the incredible power to build a rich, vibrant universe entirely inside your own mind. You can find more genuine joy in a quiet morning with a book and a cup of coffee than you ever found in a room full of clapping strangers. You do not need an audience to validate your existence. You do not need a title to prove your immense worth. So, when people whisper that you are quietly fading away, you can just smile quietly to yourself. Because you finally know the deeply psychological truth about your departure. When a highly intelligent, deeply complex person finally withdraws from the loud demands of society, it is never a tragedy. They are not actually disappearing from life at all. They are simply, finally, emerging into their own.